So I believe he was definitely the most famous member in the beginning of One Direction, but then he let fame get to his head. He became very pompous, in my opinion, and it's almost like he allowed. Hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Tarot. My name is Hallie, so grateful to have you all. So let's get into the reading. It is intuitive based, not fact based. So let's get into it. Please like the video if you like it. It helps so much. Please comment, and if you feel like being generous, I would appreciate thanks, appreciation, the little dollar that's signed at the bottom over there. Okie dokie, so I have been doing a lot of celebrity predictions, 2023 predictions for the year, so I'm continuing that. I have gotten a lot of comments and requests. These are all requested. Members get first dibs on requests, and I have other fun membership perks too. So this is about Payne. Now I have done a lot of videos about him. Well, I think about 3 or 4, so it's not a lot. But all of them have been almost 100% accurate. I said he was going to come out and be vicious against his former bandmates because he kind of feels there's something about him, about his spirit, that's like very vengeful. And it's okay, sometimes there is a place to be vengeful, but when you continue to be vengeful, because sometimes it's okay to be angry, but when you let anger ruin your life, like when you have hate in your heart, it blinds you. And I think that's the thing with him. He seems like he's like in a trance of anger. That's just what I get. So with the Sun, 6 of Swords, and a Chariot, I see him, does he have a son? I see him really growing his family. I don't know why he reminds of David Beckham. I just get very similar vibes from David Beckham and him, which is so funny. I was actually thinking the other day, I've lived in a lot of cities that David Beckham's lived in. I lived in London when he lived there, lived in LA and lived there, not Miami. I was thinking that the other day. I was like, this is really weird. But he reminds me a lot of David Beckham. And there's like both of them. Maybe I should do a video about the Beckhams one day. If you're interested in that, please let me know. Because I remember when I lived in London, there was a lot of... It's similar to Beyonce and Jay-Z. People have told me stories, but know them, personal stories, and I'm like, wow, I don't know why. I mean, I'm glad you told me. You don't have... It's hard. It's like a catch-22. I'm like, I'm not really into salacious gossip, because everybody gossips, But salacious gossip of like sleeping with people and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's just, I don't know how I've been privy to that. But anyway, so it just reminds me of that. They both have like this they look broken inside, Both he and David Beckham, they look kind of like broken. It's like their eyes don't really have anything inside. I don't know if that makes any sense. Is David Beckham a Gemini? I'm going to do a video on him, actually. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to do one. So, with the Judgment, he feels... Okay, so he's gone on his tour. And I said he was going to go on a tour, a hate tour of his members and say all these kinds of things and say blah, blah, blah. Say he was the most famous, which I believe he actually was. Because I knew him mostly first, and then I knew the other members. So, I believe he was definitely the most famous member in the beginning of One Direction, but then he let fame get to his head. He became very pompous, in my opinion, and it's almost like he allowed his fame, or what people thought of him, to cloud his actual art, because he hasn't had any real music out in a very long time, and people don't focus on his music. Now it's just about what he's saying. And I believe he's a Gemini too. I can't remember. But something that I've learned recently about lots of famous Geminis, they love to talk. They'll be like, unleashing their personal lives, talking about politics, all this kind of stuff that nobody really cares about. And because they are so vocal, sometimes they're too vocal, and people don't pay attention to the actual arts. Happened to Kanye, Zelia Banks, and lots of different Geminis where people are like, wait, what do you do again? Don't you sing? Why aren't you singing? You know? So with the bottom of the deck being the moon, he has a lot of childhood shadow work that he needs to address. And by shadow work, I mean, I would highly recommend some form of therapy. If therapy is not for him, because therapy is not for everybody, something that helps him create the tools to move forward, because he loves to get stuck in the past. His mind, and I used to be like that, you know, the past would hold me back. Something that really helped me was therapy and yoga. Those two things really, really helped me, because then I learned to be present, especially if you think a lot, and I can see he thinks a lot. You need something to remind you to be present, because he loves to be like all over the place. So the Eight of Pentacles, Six of Wands, and Two of Pentacles in reverse, I see that it's even getting in the way of his business relationships. I see like a business, I see t-shirts, headphones, but it's his lack of like willingness to keep quiet is stopping him from being good at business, being reliable, because he just gets overwhelmed with something and he's like, I have to say how I feel right here, right now. People are like, okay, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but okay, you know. So Six of Pentacles and Four of Swords, I see very strongly here that people are going to cut ties with him. He's going to come out even more this year and be like, say horrible, hurtful things about people that he knows in the industry. And people are really going to cut ties. It reminds me of Kanye, but on a smaller level. And I think we need people like that sometimes. But they also need to learn that they can't always be the biggest voice in the room. Sometimes they have to listen. Sometimes they have to grow. Sometimes they have to be willing to do the work that they say everybody else should do. So that's what I have for you all. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.